I'm Rick Rollins, and this is Going Places. Hello and welcome to this edition of Going Places. We're celebrating Women's History Month all month long on the show as we tell her story. And as usual, I think we've got a great show just for you. Take a look.
Hey, it's the Fun Foodie Mama. We're live here at the Florida Strawberry Festival. It runs March 3rd through the 13th. I'm here to show you all the fun things you can do here. Of course, people come here for the strawberries, but there's so much more to do. Follow along as I show you.
There are so many things to do at the Strawberry Festival. Of course, one of them is ride all of the fun rides. If you're going to bring kids with you, definitely check out the calendar to see what date has the most bang for your buck when it comes to the wristband option. The wristband option is the perfect way to get on all of the rides without having to nickel and dime yourself. So definitely check that out, guys. Go to their website, floridastrawberryfestival.com. Check out the wristband dates. Okay, now for the food, guys. Look at all of these delicious options. This is from Alessi Bakery. They are known in Tampa. They do a strawberry pie every year. It looks delicious. Let me know if you would partake in this. Look at those delicious strawberries. I definitely would, and I think you should too. Alessi Bakery. Then one of my other Strawberry Festival favorites is the Island Noodles. They have a wok-fired noodle dish that they serve up. You can get it with vegetables. Keep it vegetarian, or you can add protein. I think they have steak and chicken as an option. It's delicious, guys. You need to try them. And of course, who can forget the giant turkey legs? Who comes to the Strawberry Festival and does not eat one of these? Or the giant pork chops? Delicious. And of course, we cannot forget corn dogs. Strawberry Festival without a corn dog? Not me. And one of my other favorites, the Amish donuts.
Is this like a secret recipe, or is it like the standard donut recipe and you guys just...
It is a secret recipe. I think there's about 6 of us that know it.
Wow. And you guys have been in business how long?
2007, I think.
Wow, very nice. Do you guys have a brick and mortar place?
No, we run out of food trucks. We do Sarasota.
Okay.
A few spots weekly, and she has a location card up front if you'd like to.
Okay. What about Tampa? Do you guys ever come to Tampa?
No, we do the state fair, but we don't do any spots. The furthest north we go is Bradenton.
Okay. So we gotta come to you guys to get it. So do you guys have like each year for the Strawberry Festival, do you make a specific, like a special one type of thing?
Yeah, we do the only place we do the strawberries and cream is here, and the Sweetheart, which is strawberries and cream with chocolate.
Okay, awesome. Well, they're very good, so we love getting them here. Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Again, so many fun things to do at the festival. You can get a caricature made of you and your honey, your friend, your children, or pick a t-shirt design that's specifically for you. It's amazing out here. Please come out to the Florida Strawberry Festival.
Kiva, great job. When we come back, it's off to the movies we go with Alicia Stafford right after this.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. A place for you to come and share thoughts and spirit through a cup of coffee. Come and enjoy with us here at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
I'm Alicia Stanford. Let's go to the movies. Emotions and change can be difficult for anyone, and sometimes they have us turning red.
I'm Maylin Lee, and ever since I turned 13, I've been doing my own thing, making my own moves, 24/7, 365. I wear what I want, say what I want, and I will not hesitate to do a spontaneous cartwheel if I feel so moved. Oh, crap! Not to brag, but being 13 means I'm officially a grown-up, at least according to the Toronto Transit Commission.
Good for you.
Yes, young May, as her friends call her, is coming into her own. She's smart, funny, loves math, and a boy band called Four Town. She also has a genetic anomaly that's going to make her life interesting.
May, our ancestors had a mystical connection with red pandas.
Are you kidding me? This little quirk runs in our family.
Turning Red is Pixar's latest film, and it's one that deals with a subject we don't often see in movies about young teens: anxiety, especially when it comes to young girls. We see May go from a confident young woman to one who is full of insecurities, and when those emotions manifest, she turns into a red panda. The movie is endearing and sweet, and teens of any background will relate to May and the way she deals with her supportive but overprotective parents, especially her mom. Luckily, she's got some good friends who are willing to help her deal with this very furry situation.
May, it's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. I'm a freak. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. I've never met nobody like you. Had friends and I've had buddies. It's true, but they don't turn my tummy the way you do. I've never met nobody like you.
I just love that scene. It makes me choke up a little bit. Director and writer Domi Shi says many of May's experiences are based on her own life growing up in Toronto, Canada, except for the turning into the panda thing.
No!
Turning Red has all the feels, and it should have parents and kids having some interesting conversations of their own. And if you are wondering where all the amazing music came from, Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas O'Connell wrote 3 songs for the movie. You can watch Turning Red on Disney+. I'm Alicia Stanford, and that's what's going on at the movies.
When we come back, we begin our conversation with best-selling author Rosalind Rice about the power of one right after this. So that's what real style looks like. Ricardo's West Shore Plaza. I'm excited about this guest today. Why? Because not only has she become one of my favorite authors, she's one of my favorite cousins. Now I have, let me disclaim it right now. I got a lot of favorite cousins, but she's one of my favorite cousins. And there's another after her. We'll probably throw up a picture. You'll see that there's 2 of her. You know, she does not have a double personality, but she is a double portion of greatness. And that is because she is a twin. I want you to welcome to the show my cousin, my sister cousin, as I call her. Not no sister wife situation, but she's like my little sister. Won't you help me welcome Rosalind Rice?
Hello, it's so good to be here. And yes, there are a lot of cousins.
A lot.
I tried to count, and I am the baby cousin of 40 plus cousins. So
yes, you are the baby, one of the baby cousins.
I'm the baby. I'm the baby.
Okay, look, she said, let's make it clear. I am the baby. Even though she's a twin, she's the youngest of the twins too. Yes. Okay, this is so funny. These people are like, okay, did they know that they're on the Zoom call? Yes, we do. This is how we do stuff though. After all, the show is called Going Places with.
Yes.
Okay, but Rosalind, I am so glad that we finally have a chance to do this because we've been talking about this since I started the show and since the book is out. I love the title of the book, The Power of One, and we're going to talk about the book, but I want to talk to you first. So we talk to you about you first. We're celebrating her story, and I don't think that it would be fair to our viewers if we didn't tell some of your story. We know that you're a twin, and take it from there.
Yes. So Rick, thank you so much for having me on Going Places. So excited to be here, to be with your readers. With your viewers. You know, when you think about who I am, that can be a very tough question, because a lot of time we try and fill that space with what we do. And our assignments isn't to be confused with who we are.
Come on now.
So, yeah. So when you talk about who am I know that I am loved. I know that I am safe, and I know that I have a voice. Many times that voice has tried to be muted.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, you can be at a table. I've been at many a tables in corporate and executive spaces.
Come on.
And you cannot have a voice. And so with women's history, I just love the fact that we are now able to see women. If you can see her, you can be her. And I totally agree with that. So I am the youngest of an identical twin. And that has been an exciting journey with having a twin sister. And I am also the youngest grandchild. I am born one generation post segregation. And so that means that I was raised in a very different type of environment. I am the mom of two boys. I have one that is graduating college, 21 years old. You know, don't let the skin fool you.
Come on, melanin popping.
Yes. And then one that is in his junior year, Joshua, in his junior year, and married for, gosh, my husband and I have been together going on 27 years of marriage. So
coolest man in town. He's like this. You and your sister married the coolest men I know. I love both of my cousin-in-law. Well, they're my cousins. They're not cousin-in-laws, but you are. I have watched you navigate life. And I am impressed at how you do this. It isn't, as you said, it's not always been easy, but you do it. I think it's ironic what you said about when you are sitting at the table in a lot of instances, because Jessica was talking about this the other day, that sometimes they want you to fill all these roles, including the comedic relief. But when you are serious at the table, then it's like, oh, you got an attitude? Yeah. And I think that that's very interesting, the double standards that you often present. And I think that that's why it was so important to me this month that we tell all of her stories, that we talk to people and we encourage young girls and women who are feeling trapped even in their own self, that you can, you will, and you shall. So I'm really honored and glad to hear you say that. So you are the youngest. We are the product of 13 children.
Yes.
You know, in a time when, well, I guess large families were the norm, but when we say that we come from 13, people look at us and go, what? And then there are all these grandchildren, now they're great grands and great great grands of Thomas and Isabella Rollins. I think that we are blessed that we saw what was possible through Thomas and she was a stay-at-home mom and took care of 13 children, make sure they all got fed. And he did, I mean, our grandfather was amazing. Just an amazing man, and the kindest, sweetest spirit you could ever meet. So, you know, we are blessed. Okay, so now we've had our family moment.
Yeah, but you know what I will say with that, Rick, is that being the youngest, and the reason why I say that is because a part of me writing and having this, writing for me is therapeutic, it's a stream of consciousness. I know you understand that, but as a twin sister, and my sister being more extrovert than I am, being the youngest of 40 plus grandkids, it was hard for me to find my voice. We come from a incredible history, and our grandfather was about education, and it's a diverse experience. So there isn't a monolithic experience in regards to being Black or being a woman or being a grandchild. But for me, I had to find a way to find my voice, because I was quiet when there were family gatherings. We remember when we would all be in Archer and we would be waking up early in the morning, and some would be outside, some inside. It was hard to find space to be heard.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
And so I think that's why I have always been drawn to words. My mom used to have us in oratorical contest. And it was in that moment that I saw the power of words. When you are able, as a young speaker, to get on a stage and be able to speak of a literary piece, and you see grown people either cry or so connected to that speech that there's thunderous applause. I was able to see as a young girl, this is what the power of words can do.
That is so true. You know, girl, this is really, I'm having moments. I'm having moments with you, cousin. Wow. I didn't anticipate all this, y'all. I'm sitting here that if you could see the hair standing on my head, if I had hair, it would be standing up. But that is so true, that we did have to find our voice, because there were a lot of cousins. There was a lot of noise. And I was like you. Of the male cousins, I was one of those cousins who I wasn't athletic. I was more creative and artistic, and you know that they kind of look over the glasses, you know, but that was me. And I wanted to sit and listen to the stories. I was fascinated by the stories, and grandma would say, go out there and play with them boys. And I'd be like, oh my God, why can't I just sit and listen? Plus I could stay in the shade because I hate heat. but it's so true. I never never ever thought about it. Y'all, we are having this real conversation this morning. And look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break, because there's so much more. I'm gonna tell you right now, we had planned 2 segments. This is not a 2-segment show. So just know that we're coming back after break, but next week, Rosalind will be back, because there's so much more to talk about, because I believe there are gonna be more moments like this on Going Places. So stay with us. Going Places continues right after this. So let's get back into this. So like you said, it was about finding your voice. Yes. And we have to do that, because you said this during the break, that there are a lot in the Rollins, Mickens, and all the rest, the Rutledge, and the list of family extensions. There are a lot of voices, and they're dominant, even in the core family, because I'm sure that 13 children, you had to have a voice, you had to be heard, and it was hard. Because even you had 13 children, then you had the grandchildren, and it was a lot, y'all. It was a wonderful time. Now, don't get us wrong. We would not trade those times for nothing. Trust me, it was because we became who we are. Who you see here, absolutely, and all of the others, I promise you, it was because of those experiences. And so when the scripture says all things work together, it worked together.
And the togetherness. I mean, I just remember us.
We'll fight you.
Whether it was picking pecans or picking pears or being together, having family meals, there was such intentionality in raising us to love God, to love our family, to come together. Every year we had a family reunion.
Every year. We wasn't 2 and 3 years. This is killing us. Pandemic has pissed us off, because we have not been able to have a real family reunion since, was it Tampa? Was Tampa the last?
It was 2019.
2019. And that was oh my God, there was something so different about that one.
Yes.
And I got to preach for the first time
it was
my
awesome.
family, and it was on a legacy of love, which, I mean, God really dealt with me, because we didn't know what was coming. Now you got to understand, 13 children, 13 spouses, well, 12 spouses, because Aunt Leola said, I ain't having this. And she was like, I want out. So there wasn't, but you've got people who, when they come together, I don't know if we understood this. Would you ever just kind of stand back and look at them and go,
wow.
Some bad A people. I mean, educators, entrepreneurs, medical professionals, legal. I mean, we could go down the list. You would be surprised of some of the names that come out of this family, including, you know, people don't, but if you look at him, we'll just give you one name on the famous side, Howard Rollins. Look at him. We'll put a picture of any of the Rollins men and you know that he is a Rollins through and through.
Yes.
We never met him, but we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so, but I think that that we couldn't help but
be great.
There you go. I'm glad you said it, because you couldn't help it, because they weren't going to settle for anything less than. Even the ones who others may say, they provided for family.
Yes.
They did. They may not been the most articulate, but their heart was always in the right place. And there's not one aunt or uncle that I can say, they were all. I mean, but like I said, we would fight you.
Yeah.
We didn't have to fight you with fists, but now they do carry guns. but words worked every time. Worked every time. Okay, so this is our own family reunion, because we don't get. I'm like I said, it's been 2 years, and I missed the Zoom. I missed the Zoom. I was so.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, but I missed it because I was like, I just need. Jessica and I both talked about that. Look, we are on TV. I'm sorry. Look, y'all just have to forgive us, but this is what happens. So let's go back. Okay, we're gonna go back into being us now. Okay, so when you decided to write this, where did this come from?
That's such a great question. So this came from, 10 years ago, I had God just say to me that you're going to be an author. I had this love of words and that you're going to be an author. And I remember going to a writing conference. I still have 4 rejection letters as my sister and I, that would have been co-authoring together, pitched ideas. And so if there is someone out there who is feeling that they are in the midst of rejection, let me tell you something. Delay does not mean denial, that there is a perfect timing. And so you wait and you be still until you know more. And it was the time during 2020, there was so much that happened to me. I had been in retail for 25 years. That road came to an end. And 25 years at a corporate level, like many times when you hear talking about retail, you really think about those entry-level positions, because retail is selling coffee at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, but I had always been at a corporate level. And so when that road came to an end, it was like, what is next? The world was completely changing. There was death and grief all around. Everywhere. And I was writing in obscurity of just not knowing. For the first time ever in my world, there was complete silence. For me, that was the first sounds of the pandemic. I knew that it was a pivotal moment in history, and I wanted to be able to journal what I was feeling through that. I personally, in the midst of all of that and all that happened with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, as a mother of 2 African-American males, who my son previously that year had been stopped by a police officer and harassed, I remember drinking out of my grandmother's cup. So Isabella is on one of our cups, and it has like her years of legacy that she had been on the earth. And I just remember really trying to think about what it took for her in the midst of uncertainty to raise 13 children. And it was from that space that I would really move forward. It was something like I had never experienced.
5 of them. I'm sitting here, girl, I'm telling you, I've got chills. I've got the hair standing up, because you don't think about that, because they survived it, but how they survived it. And then, like you said, as a mother of boys, I think about all my friends that have boys, and it is hard. Having raised godsons, we've all had to have the talk. Having been stopped by the police and lived through that. I mean, it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty, because I had 8 police cars, 12 guns drawn on me. And I'm like, I ain't done nothing. Long story short, the rental car that I had been reported stolen in Miami.
Oh,
I had it in Tampa. They didn't want to hear a word I was saying, and it wasn't cute.
Yeah.
It was not cute. So when you said that flashback to that, that's a whole, I've shared that when we do the live. I took my church members on a virtual reenactment right after George Floyd and did and showed them that. So that anyway, but like you said, here we are in this uncertainty because 2020 was y'all know that it was hard. And like you said, you went through your own stuff.
Yeah.
And it was not an easy time. And I don't think anybody realized how much you were going through in that period. Go ahead.
No, because thankfully there was the journaling. There was the stream of consciousness that I could put on paper. And so it became aware to me that I needed to have just one word. For me, one word is so powerful that one word from God can change the trajectory of your life. And so for me, it wasn't that I needed a sermon. And I know that you preach, Rick. I didn't need a sermon. I needed one word. That was all.
We need a word. That song said we need a word from the Lord.
A word, because in the midst of uncertainty, in the midst when life is spicy and challenging, in the midst when you are disoriented by grief, and let me tell you, you can be at the intersection of grace and grief at the same time, strength and struggle at the same time, triumph, and you can be there all at the same time, triumph, tribulation. So that intersection was happening for me in 2020. And the one word would pull me immediately into what God wanted me to think about my life, not the definition of, hey, you just lost your job, your son, got COVID before there was a vaccine, you're just all these things that were happening. And I decided by God's nudging that I would write this book where every single chapter is one word. It is 700 words or less, because when you're going through a challenging time, you don't need a dissertation.
No.
You need something quick, fast, to be able to get back on a steady ground. And so that's what Power of One, finding hope in the midst of struggle, that's the inspiration for it.
Okay, y'all, like I said, this is not a conversation that can be encapsulated in one show. Next week, and possibly even the week after, we'll see what happens. My cousin, Rosalind Rice, the author of The Power of One, will be back with us. I encourage you. Now, yes, we ingratiated ourselves and talked about our family a whole lot, but hopefully you even got to know us better. Next week, Rosalind really delves into the book and how the power of one can change everything.